What is going on, everybody? This is Stingii from Stingii Designs, and I've got a tutorial for you today, and it's going to be how to make a video border for your YouTube videos, speed arts, etc. Just before I get into the tutorial itself, I'd just like to announce that I've joined a amazing team called Graphics Class, and basically what it is it's like a school system. So we've got principal and then we've got teachers, and it's pretty much aimed to teach you guys what we know about graphics and the basics, and then some of the more advanced things as well. So it's a really good channel. If you could get behind that, that would be great. We've got some quite known YouTubers as part of it as well. We've got Metallic Designs and Rated Designs as well. He's been helping us out, so there'll be a link in the description. If you could go check that out and tell them that I sent you, that would be great. And I just apologise for not uploading tutorials for Tutorial Tuesdays in the past 2 weeks. I've been really busy, but that's no excuse. Alright, let's get into the video. So you want to open a new Photoshop document, and your width you want it to be 1280 by, and your height at 720, resolution 72, and background contents you want to be transparent. And now you've got your, I guess this is the size of your video. So come down to the rectangle tool and change your foreground color to a sort of a dark grey, almost black, and drag out a box like so. Doesn't matter how big you do it, but we will resize it later. So then you want to right click on your layer and rasterize layer, and Command T to bring up your your move tool, and then just move it to how big you want it. There's no point having it ridiculously big because it just draws attention to it, and it's just sort of meant to be a subtle thing that just adds a bit more flair to your video. So somewhere around that is great. We're going to do some layer styles on it now to make it look nice. Everyone loves layer styles, yes I know. So double click and go to gradient overlay, change the opacity down to about anywhere between, I guess, 10 and 20 works the best, so we'll go 14, and make sure your angle is at 90, and you can play around with the scale, but I personally wouldn't worry about that, just leave it at around the middle. Next you can go to drop shadow and change the angle to -90, and get rid of use global light. And the distance, you want to just put this up a little bit, and you won't really see much difference, but once you put it on your video you will see a bit of difference. So it does pay to have a go, I guess. So just play around with the size. Normal sizing would be between 1 and probably 8 on the distance. The spread you don't want too much, so just leave that on 2, and the size just put that on about 6, and just play around with it until you find what looks good, but it's really just personal preference, so we'll go with that for now. Next thing is bevel and emboss, and this is probably the most critical part here really. It's really just a matter of playing around with these settings and finding what looks the best, but for now we're just going to turn off global light, set the angle to 90, and the depth you want to put down to about 40, maybe a little bit higher, so 45 let's say. And the size you don't want too big, so probably 5. And this cross contour here, this is a good way. These are some sort of presets that you can use, so you can look through here and find one that you like. If you don't like any of them, then that's you just make your own. It's not very hard, but just for this tutorial I'll go with this one here because that looks really clean. And so there we go, we've got our, I guess, box for the moment. So that's the start. Now what we can do is sort of cut it up to make it look nice. So what we might do is get the pen tool and hold shift and then click down on an angle to bring up this, and then fill your path in with your pen tool. Right click, make selection, and feather radius at 0, and then you can hit delete, and that sort of gives us a nice little cut, and it still continues with the emboss and the shadow, so that looks really nice if you ask me. So now we can go Command J to duplicate the layer, and then we're going to move it along to the other side maybe, and then go Command T and flip horizontal, and then enter. Now this is our, I guess, video border. Now rulers, I'd highly recommend that you use rulers, as it's very easy to use and makes everything parallel. So with the rulers, we've just dragged them in. So if you don't have your rulers, go Command R or Control R if you're on a PC, sorry. And now we want to just line up these so they're the same width apart in the middle. So something like that, and highlight them both and go Control T and then bring that like so. So there we go, we've got both of them lined up. Now we can import a logo or put some text. So we'll import a logo first, so File, Place, and I'm just going to put in my Stingii Designs logo. So I'll just use this one for now because that's alright. So drag it down to your size you want and just place it anywhere on your thing, wherever looks good. If that sort of overhang look is kind of nice in a way, so just resize it down and make sure it fits nicely. And now what we'll do is put some text in. So come over to your T tool, and when mine loads, we'll just type some text. So video border. So bring that down and just increase the size. Like so. Now we'll add some quick layer styles on here. This won't take long. So gradient overlay, and you want to put the blend mode to overlay. Not overlay. Just normal, and drop the opacity down, and the scale you can put all the way up. Perhaps bring the opacity up a bit and just sort of play around with it to see what looks the best. And we might put a little bit of drop shadow, so we'll do 90 degrees and the distance like so. We might reverse that. No. Change the color of the gradient to a less vigorous grey. So somewhere in the middle, and you want sort of like a medium grey fading into a very light grey or a white. And that is pretty much the text itself. So now what we can do is, if you want to put a logo on the other side, you can do the same thing with like a clan logo or something. So if you're doing a speed art for like a clan background, you can put in their logo on the other side. So I might just do that quickly just to demonstrate. So I will use my Locky logo on the other side, and I know the color's not right, but it's just an example. So like so, we can put that there, and then duplicate our text by going Command J again, and then dragging it over. Locky's tutorial. And the same goes, you can do anything really with this. You can put like the song name, like you might have seen me do, or you can really do whatever you want. And just before I finish, I might add a quick color correction over the top, and then I'll show you how to save it out. So you want to go to adjustments and just check 10 minutes, long tutorial, add curves, and just bring this up and then bring the bottom down, and then again we can add a gradient map, and we might do a black to white gradient and change the blend mode to overlay, and then drop the opacity on that right down to about 30, and that sort of just gives it a nice bit more of a, I guess, futuristic look, if you know what I mean. But that's the basic video border. They're really easy to make and anyone can do it. Just have a crack at it and you never know what you'll get out of it. So I'll just show you how to save it quickly. So come up to File, Save As, and you want to, on the format, you want to save it as a PNG, because that way it'll keep the transparency in the background, so that then you can overlay it over your video without having problems with white screens and stuff. So we'll just save that as tutorial, and what I'll do is I'll put this over the video, over the tutorial that you're watching now, so you can see what it looks like. Anyway guys, this has been Stingii from Stingii Designs, and thanks for watching this tutorial. Please leave tutorial suggestions in the comment section below, and I will get back to you, and hopefully we can get a tutorial from there. Anyway guys, I'm out. Peace.